So for one of my quote-unquote bonus material here, what I thought about doing is leaving this area, and I want to show you the FARON area. If you don't know the FARON area, you need to know it. It is sort of next level amounts of getting you material, which material is really what can take you to the next level in terms of huge attack up, meals, half an hour, speed up meals, those sorts of things. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go here to the top of the Twin Peaks mountains by going to the SHEE VANEER shrine. And I showed you this earlier, but we're going to glide over to this area. It's in the morning, so these guys are back. We will overkill them. Okay, so that's YurGruncle Village. That is, oh yeah, a little heat resistance. This is the tower that takes you, I guess it's dark enough it's hard to see, but Hateno Village is right over here. And then if you come over here, you can see this tower, this tiny bit of, this is a tower, this is FARON Tower, and this is where you're going. So, if you're not going to wind bomb it, you can just take it in stages. So, you just, there's a little bit of a cross breeze if you look at the way the wind is going, but you're just going to go drop down and follow this ridge that's right here that the paraglider is covering. Let's move the camera. And you can see over there, see the dragon coming out of the pool. Eventually we're going to make it over there, and we're going to collect dragon parts. Farosh is that dragon, and that is the best dragon to farm dragon parts, specifically dragon horns. We're going to be using dragon horns because if you add a dragon horn to any meal, it automatically gets it to a half an hour effectiveness. And so you can have a speed up for a half an hour, you can have an attack up for a half an hour, you can have all these half an hour up things. So that guardian that's right next to Link right now, that is a decayed guardian that will activate. You can drop down and destroy that if you want. I'm just going to skip it by gliding over. You can see now we have tons of stamina. We've gotten a huge distance. Oh, it activated anyway. So when its beam disappears, I'll drop down. And then it won't be able to see me anymore. I'm going to ignore that guy. Don't actually need the heat resistant weapon at this point. It's not cold anymore. So I think the best way is to stay high on this ridge at this point and just run over. We're going to jump over this gap and climb up to the top of that. That cliff right there. You can sprint and whistle sprint. There is a Korok seed, one of the little glowy ones that runs around somewhere around here, but I'm not going to worry about it. You kind of want to stay all the way to the right here, to close to this edge. There is a Hynox up in there. You know, now this spear will do enough damage that you can kill those guys in one shot. Again, you can see the dragon. That's good. The dragon is activated. That means we're going to be able to farm parts. We're going to leave it right there. For now, we're just going to get the tower. And in getting the tower, we want to kill these two guys. Actually, no, I'm just going to skip them for now. Just go straight to the tower. We'll come back to them. So now we have the tower. And this tower is nice because it's a good central location to get mighty bananas, to get lots of durians, to be near where FARON originates so that we can farm parts from him. You can also come here before you do the final battle and get like many heart meals and make larger ones. Like you can cook 5 durians at a time, excuse me, 4 yellow or 20 yellow hearts if you really feel like you need the extra safety net, so to speak, having that many hearts. If you're trying to practice all the guys and you're finding yourself struggling and dying. So again, we've got this like super powerful bow. Those guys are 50 each. We're gonna headshot them with a 50 damage bow, which means they die instantly. I can hit them in a body shot, but because I have a 50 damage bow. I am totally full on weapons right now, and really amazing weapons. But if I wasn't, I will often pick up one of these Lizzle boomerangs, and the reason I do that, if I have any open slots, is because the way that I make sure that I've gotten all of the durians is I actually blow up the trees, which I thought for a long time would make it so they wouldn't respawn as fast, but it has nothing to do with it. The trees come right back. And then I will use one of my weapons, like, you know, if I have an axe, I'm using an axe, but in this case I will use this, and I just cut up all of the trees. And the reason I do that is because if you're going to do like the Hylian homeowner quest, and then beyond that there's the village, once you finish the Hylian homeowner quest, all of those you need wood for. I think you need 170 some wood, so it's a nice way to both gather durians and a bunch of wood at the same time. And if I look back at what I've already done, all the trees that are still standing are the ones I haven't gone to yet, so I can kind of keep track of where I'm at. Anyway, so you can pick up those low level, even those low level Lizzle boomerangs don't do a lot of damage. They will cut a tree that's already fallen down into wood in one hit. So, and they're just sort of right there every time, and they're disposable weapons from my point of view. Not very good. So you can grab those 2, even if you have space for 2. There is a little fish in here. You can grab that if you want. I often skip it because I just never really cook it. So, from my point of view, there's no real need. So, try not to blow yourself up. You know, if you want to come over here. You can climb up this, and then refresh your stamina, glide over to the wall, and you'll have plenty to jump all the way up. I thought. Well, maybe not plenty. The other alternative is if you do a volley scale, it will take you all the way to the top. So, I'm wearing the champion shirt right now, which means I don't have full sneaky. But there's this Hinox here. You can either put your shirt back on, your stealth chest guard, or you can sneak up on this guy. And especially with a Royal Guard Claymore, you can do this with really any two-handed weapon, even a, like if you have a Knight's Claymore, it will typically do a red Hinox in one go. Whoop. Hold the button. And I used Urbosa's Fury there. And he gives you a Knight's Claymore, which I don't really need, but I think this is a Hinox that if you continue the game for a while, some of the enemies level up. I'm pretty sure that is a Hinox that will. So they level up, and when they level up, they give you better weapons. So eventually you get like a Royal Bow and Royal Claymore. There is a Radish here. You can see that I've left a durian tree over there. I'm not going to bother with it because I'm not headed in that direction. If you want to be thorough, you can grab it. If you stun that lizard, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's two of them. You can stun them with the bomb and go get them too. But it's going to tell me there's a shrine nearby. It's about to start raining, which kind of stinks for climbing. It's about to start lightning. And I'm trying to think if I have none. Pretty sure that this is not a lightning weapon. And I know that this is not. But I don't actually need that next. I need this next. So get that out. So, we're lucky that we have Rivali's Gale here, because otherwise we'd have a hard time climbing this cliff. But with Rivali's Gale, and I'm gonna, you can see the Lionel right there. I'm gonna skip the Lionel and go to the right here. And, so this pool right here, this is where Farosh originates when he comes out to play. And so we're gonna go grab a few more of these mighty thistles and some of those bananas. Got a lot of bananas. Really, eventually you should start getting to the point where you have lots and lots of the material. Once you know where things spawn, is really the right word. So we're gonna go into this cave. We're gonna kill all of these guys with our zoomy bow. So these bows shoot for a distance of what they call 40. I'm not sure what it is, but like most bows, like let's say the Strength of Lizzle bow shoots 20, and then the arrow starts to drop off. So you have to, if you're shooting further than whatever the Zelda's worth of 20, I don't know if it's 20 meters, 40 meters, I think that's what it's supposed to be. Because there is a challenge where you can glide, and there's a guy that will say, you went 300 meters. And so people have used that as a scale to figure out how tall Link is, and then how far he'll go, and they figured out distances. Anyway, gonna get out that. I'm gonna get some wood. I'm gonna organize all my stuff. I'm gonna put some wood, kind of, as far, you don't want it to be up here because it'll just roll down the slope, but as far as you can put it to the left without it rolling down the slope. And then I'm going to turn it into a campfire. I'm gonna sit by it until morning. And if all goes right, Farosh should spawn right away. I'm gonna take time to do this, and then I'm hoping, yeah. And then with my zoom bow, and then you wait to sit until it comes off. You see how the sparkly piece was coming off of Farosh. So the first time you hit a dragon, it's always a scale, because you need a scale for the shrine that their scale is used for. But then after that, so once it's gone out, after that it'll be a horn if you shoot the horn. And the horn is really what you want. Everything else, it's just so much better than everything else. And so you want to shoot kind of at the top of where the horn is going to be in order to hit the horn. I always wait. I don't know that you have to, but I always wait until the arrow has hit the horn. So I like stay in bullet time until the arrows hit the horn, and then I cancel out of bullet time, drop down, wait for the piece to break away. And then I sit until morning, and you can just repeat this. I know that I had 126 arrows when I shot the first time. I look at that counter. I'm going to both get at least 10. I used to get like 20 the first time I did it. So I'm going to get at least 10, and I'm going to, let's say I do 10 and it's lightning out. I'm going to just sit again, and I'm going to wait until there's at least 2 things on the weather predictor that aren't rain or lightning. So basically I want it to be sunny, or I want it to be just cloudy for 2 cycles, once I only have 116 arrows, if all that makes sense. And that way it's easier to collect everything. It's a pain to collect everything if it's lightning or if it's super rainy. So if you sit before the piece breaks off of Farosh, it won't spawn back next time, so you have to wait that time. But if you look, when I jump up here, you can see in the distance there's all these glowy spots, and that's because those pieces have broke off and they're still in the environment. And that's what you want. It's sort of so like here, if you look at the weather, you can see it's going to be sunny, and then it's going to rain. And so ideally, I want it to say sunny and cloudy or something. It's sunny right now, but there's too sunny. Although it's only 9. But it's fine. So you ride the updraft. Whenever there's a dragon updraft, whenever you let go of your paraglider and start it over, your stamina refills, which is nice. You want to stay a little bit away from him. So these are the horns. So collect all these. There's basically a couple of spots where they land when you're shooting from that cave. The other thing about being in the cave, a lot of guys will come under these trees, and under these trees when it's rainy, it will still fire be protected, but I really like the cave for the fact that no matter whether it's raining or lightning or whatever, you're under that overhang, and so you're protected from any of it. Grab that just cause, and switch weapons. Scale. From here on the first round, I typically go over here and get this Korok and stop attacking. He shook his head and attacked me. Silly guy. The way you get this Korok, of course, is there are 3 trees, and you look, this tree has a durian on that branch, this one has it on the same branch, and this one has too many to be even, so you can shoot these off. I often will just climb, it's only 2, and then that makes it so a Korok appears when you make them all match, basically. And then I just get the rest of the durians. And then from here, if you look right over there, that rock behind that tree is a shrine. And that shrine, there's always going to be lightning in this area, and the idea is you're supposed to place an object, see how to instantly change the weather over to lightning, place a metallic object on top of it, and when you do that and it gets lightning strike, you instantly get the shrine. And even though I basically never use the rubber armor that's in there, so I normally find that if I wait until it's, if I keep my weapon on me, I want to change over to magnesis, yeah, until it's sparking, and then it will spark faster. Like, yeah, sometimes it gets too far from links, it stops sparking, which is really not how that should work. But that's annoying. You can, of course, just eat a big meal and then stand there with it on top, but I don't like that. Because it's raining, you can whistle sprint up there. Whistle sprint and jump. Come on, lightning, there we go. Maybe if I drop it, stand next to it. I don't like to drop it because I find it's harder to find your weapon later. It just flies away, but if you're holding it with magnesis, you can continue to hold it and it doesn't fly away. But this time it wasn't too hard to find. Anyway, this shrine is nice because once you've done that, there's nothing, it's just a blessing. You just go in and get your rubber armor at the chest, and then get your spirit orb. It's pretty fast. So generally after this, when I've done that cycle, I will travel back to the tower, and from the tower you can go kind of the other way. So there's 2 more spots in the Frosh area I'd like to go, and one is a route that gets you a lot more durians and luminous stones, and another shrine with the Farosh's scale, and the other just gets you a bunch of mighty bananas and takes you over by the stables that's over there, and there's a shrine over there too. But it's not a blessing, so it does take a little bit longer, but you can pretty quickly get a number of things. So all right, so what we're going to do now is facing this way. We're going to go over here and get a bunch of mighty bananas. There's a few more spots to get durians, but when you're not getting it from the Yiga clan, which we got most of the ones earlier, this is the area that there's tons of mighty bananas. So Royal Guard equipment is awesome, but it breaks easily. That's the downside. My favorite way, if you shoot the scout, you want to warn everybody else. My favorite way to get him down is to, well, that didn't work, blow up his tree. Oh, that hurt me. Jeez. That hurt me too. Luckily not very much. I got so many good choices, it's hard to decide. So now this will do 3 times damage, so it's a one-shot kill. Oh, there's that guy. 13. I thought it would have freeze him. Can't remember what's up in this chest. I think it might just be arrows. Yeah, a bundle of arrows. And then here's the same thing. You can use magnesis to get that chest, or you can just blow up the tree, drops down, get the chest. Boom. This is an axe, which I guess I'll take, since my spear is gone. I can't remember if I've ever actually cut one of these trees down. Yeah, I guess that's all that happens. It's raining. That's kind of stinky. I'm gonna climb up. The simple way, oh, suddenly it's sunny again. Interesting. To get this Korok seed, just like that. So here's some more durians. And of course you can get wood that you can use to make fires or as part of quests. Must be a different weather zone over here because suddenly it's rainy again. So I'm gonna stay up top here. So a cute trick here is just to scale. I'll just take you right over. Maybe I should have Rivali scaled to top from here. There is a Lizalfos, there's actually 2 Lizalfoses on the top of this plateau. Right there. And I do have sneaky up by 2 because I'm wearing 2 pieces. And again, I have a 15 damage axe. And it does 8 times damage when you sneak strike with it. So 100 and damage. So it's an insta-kill. So the other Lizalfos is right over here, and he is more tanky. So we will switch to this guy. And I'm gonna crouch. And there we go. It's a Dragon Bone Moblin, or Dragon Bone Boku Club, or bow, if you want it. I don't think, no. I don't need that. Although normally I would get rid of my Phrenic bow at this point and switch over to something else, just because I've done the dragon farming that I was going to. Admittedly, I would typically do a little more dragon farming eventually. I think there's more than one hardy bass in here. So if you're looking for hardy bass, there's a quest from Rito Village. There's one actually right there. Where you need hardy bass. This is the spot to get them from. There's a bridge right down there, and underneath this bridge is a bunch more hardy bass. Of course, we're getting hardy durians, so you don't really need them for cooking meals. You can kill those guys if you want, but I'm not going to bother with it. So to me, this is as far as you need to go. Farash, the dragon, this pool over here, this is the end of his chain. So he starts over there. That's where we were when we were farming dragon parts, and then he comes across and down into there. But so now the sort of third circuit that I do from the FARON Tower is going to get us more durians, and it's also going to get a bunch of luminous stones, which for the Radiant set is really nice. So I'm going to do that next. Maybe I should have killed those guys just because I still need vocal parts, I think. The guts. But here I'm going to switch to my Stone Smasher. And we probably could just, so you can see all the trees that I knocked down before are back, but none of the durians are on them because, of course, I took them all. But the trees just come right back. And it doesn't affect the spawning. Cutting down the trees doesn't affect spawning on, like, it doesn't make it so the durians come back faster to leave the trees there. It's still the same chance. So you can cut all the wood you want, and it still has the same chance. You get kind of a nice view of the bird and the camel up on the hills. So we're going to drop down and switch back to Stone Smasher. Get this rare mineral deposit. These are all luminous stones. It's actually about to get dark, which in some ways is nice as you're doing this route. It's about to rain, which is not nice. But the darkness is nice for this route because it helps you to be able to see the luminous stones. That fire started because I made a flint, or there was a flint that spawned when I broke that luminous stone. Luminous stones typically are either, I think always are either luminous stone or flint. So again, this guardian is not active, so you can search him if you want and get a ancient screw in this case. But that one over there is. You can take him out if you want. I always come over to here, and I just skip that by gliding over here. and there are some luminous stones along here. Usually, yeah. So you can shoot those guys if you want. Get some yellow choo-choo jelly, or you can just run past them. Go here to the luminous stone. Pick that up. I usually go up along here first, and then I'm actually going to drop down back to where I just was above. And for me, that's the best route. You can figure it out however you want. Another trick you can do, of course, is you can take a picture of a luminous stone deposit, save it. It'll be in the HYRULE compendium, and then if you click on that, in the HYRULE compendium, not in the album, but in the compendium, and you target Y with the sensor, it's now searching for luminous stones instead of shrines. So now it will tell you where to go. But I pretty much have this route down in the way I want it to go, and so I don't really worry about what the HYRULE compendium says.
Rivali's gale is now ready.
Here you can see it glowing, so that's as far as we want to go, as I want to go. And then I'm going to go back, and here you can start to see them glow. So I'm actually going to get these top ones first, which will take me back to the start, or further back, and then I'll come back along the bottom where I can get more. And I think that's it for there, so here, if you whistle sprint across, you can typically just run across. Let's see if I can make that work, even though it's raining. So it's very difficult to climb over there if it's raining because you keep falling down. But this is where whistle sprinting really shines, in the rain on steep areas. So now we have done that, and as far as I'm concerned, I think there are a few more back up there, but I'm not going to worry about it. In fact, I'm going to Sheikah Sensor. I'm going to turn that off because I'm tired of that. And then look down here. There's some more durians. I'm going to farm some more durians. Some wood. And you can see there are beetles here, and there's iron shrooms. That's what this is right here. Not too worried about it. Excuse me. So if you actually stay down at this level and you just go back up there a ways, there's also a bunch of durian trees that way. I'm actually going to go here. Champion weapon, and I use it as an axe. What a deal. So now I'm going to go to this shrine here. I'm going to get out. I should really say this is a goddess statue. So I came to the goddess statue. I'm going to get this scale out, put it in the water, and voila. A shrine appears. This is, of course, a goddess statue, so I could pray at this goddess statue if I had enough spirit orbs and get more stamina or hearts. I now have enough stamina, this 2 full wheels plus 1, and if you want to get hearts you can. Again, we were able to beat the game without it, so not strictly necessary by any stretch. So this is nice because it's just a blessing. I think this is a weapon. I think I will take that weapon actually. So I'm just gonna drop that. It only has a few more hits in it, and this is really nice. That's my favorite spear for hitting an enemy and making them drop their weapon. Because you can do it for distance, which is really nice. And of course it still works for all the things that you want to use spears on normally, like stall monsters and keys and things like that. And oh, I clicked that too soon. So here if you see down at the bottom right hand corner where it says The Legend of Zelda, it isn't loading. There's no loading yet. So if you click it too early, that's what happens, is it takes I don't know, 8 seconds or 9 seconds or something before it even starts loading. And so the total time is greater since I didn't let it load in that scene with the monk. I didn't let the overworld load in that scene with the monk. So that's what's loading there. So here, again, I don't have my sneaky suit fully on. So I'm going to crouch and hopefully sneak strike this guy. Done. So get 300 rupees. And there are 2 Lizalfoses that are facing each other. So to me, taking out all these Lizalfoses right now is not worth it. Not because they are a problem. Let's see if I can sneak up on these guys. There we go. So those guys that say 228 or 288. I can't sneak up on either one of them without the other one seeing me is the problem, as far as I know. I can't do that anyway. So if you're going to come here before you do the castle run, there's actually a lot of really good things you can get by killing most, maybe not all of those Lizalfoses, but most of them, which I will demonstrate. So if I am, like, one way to play the game is to actually go from the Great Plateau to here, to the FARON area. And if you do that, what that does is it gives you all these durians. I mean, if you look at my durian count right now, I have 42. That's a lot of meals. And at that point, instead of just cooking 2 at a time, you're going to cook 3 or 4, or maybe even 5 at a time. 5 at a time, you still have 8 meals. So you can come here, get some super tanky yellow heart set up, and then you're going to get all these mighty meals, and so you can have a lot more damage output. Where is... So, okay, so here is Lizalfos, and that means there's probably one right below me. So I want to have... if you're early game, you're going to have a bow that's at least a 20 damage, and but these guys have bows that are a 25 damage, and so you can just drop down below them. And even if you have, again, this is, so if I have an 18 damage, if I can just land right behind him and sneak strike him, he usually falls down, which is too bad. But, so you can get the strengthened Lizzle bow, it's worth 25, and all of these archers have them. You see that they're seeing me, right? But they can't hit me from here. So see, he'll shoot me, and not even close, right? Interestingly, actually, with this falcon bow, I may be able to just shoot directly at him. But with a bow that doesn't shoot that far, so if I just shoot right at him, see how it falls down, just like his does. But I can just keep getting my arc right. I can dial it in somewhere, maybe here. I can hit him, so I just one-shot him. I can do the same thing with this guy. Maybe. Maybe not. If you have a falcon bow, I know you can hit him with a falcon bow. Which is the power of the falcon bow. So I can kill all these guys where I'm totally out of the danger zone. I can even kill those guys over there, but I think some of their stuff doesn't spawn properly. So there's also this guy. He hasn't even noticed me. Wasn't that hilarious? So boom. What I'm hoping is that, yeah, so these guys all shoot shock arrows, and so they'll do shock arrow drops. And shock arrows are really nice early game. So if, and you can get some Fleet Lotus seeds here. If you can get them early game, again, oh man, oh this guy moved. That's why he came off his perch. So, I guess you want to have some tankiness there in case one of them gets you, but separating them all. So these guys are crouched, and so as long as you, even though he's moving his eye, as long as you don't get too close, they won't attack you. So again, here's another strength of Lizzle Bow, strength of Lizzle Bow. This guy's seeing us now, and he shouldn't be able to reach me, but so basically what I'm saying is if you had like a soldier bow or you had something like that, you can stand out far enough that they can't get you, but you can get them. And that's the technique I recommend. So to see how this one is double, it has all the shininess, that means something about it is better. So let's drop that, pick it up, and look at it. So it has durability up. So of course what you're really always hoping for is attack up. You're hoping that it'll be attack up. So this one just has a single sparkle above it, so it doesn't have anything special about it. Oh, I gotta be on the pillar. That's right. So we got some good shock arrow drops there. So typically early game you can still end up with about 10 shock arrows. If you want to, I don't usually bother to kill these guys because they're so tanky. If you want to, because once you start attacking one, they'll both attack you. But if you want, and you've got your strength and Lizzle Bow, you can just start by drawing one out. And I'm up high, and so he can't really do anything to me. You can see how this uses quite a few arrows and takes a minute. So now he's dead. So the way to get the next guy is if you have a little bit better weapon, which of course I have the best weapon in the game, or at least most damaging weapon natively. Although the most damaging weapon is a Lionel Crusher that has so he always notices you is the problem. As far as I know, you cannot sneak up on him even with full sneaky armor. But you can just fight him. But you killed the other guy, so you don't have to do both at the same time. So there you go. Again, I don't usually bother. To me, it's a lot of work for a lot of effort for not a lot of reward. But early game, all these strength and Lizzle Bows that are worth that do 25 damage. Because if you come straight off the plateau, your best weapon is like a 14 damage. And there's just a ton of good stuff over here to get. So, just to be kind of complete here, I will show you this path. So we already took the durians off that tree and these 2 trees. So if you keep going here, whistle sprint and sprint. You see there's more durian tree here.
Yep.
And then there's a couple more over here. There's really only about I know there's that one we just did. There's these 2, and then I think maybe there's 2 more, so maybe 5 durian trees.
Yep.
And typically you get 1 or 2, so you're probably going to get 8 more durian or something like that during this extra bit of the route. There are going to be some iron shrooms, which are good for defense. That was a hardy truffle. Another iron shroom. Let's see if I can go far enough away that that doesn't. There actually are a couple of hardy durians over here. I don't recommend you get those because there are some. I'm pretty sure that's the little plateau where there's a bunch of Lizalfos hiding in the grass. You can, if you want, but so here's these 2. And actually, if you cross this, so actually, I guess there's a 6th one, 6th hardy durian tree here. Right down in that little pond, there's some Lizalfoses. I find that the easiest way to kill them is to get out a shock arrow, which you just got from where you were, and your best bow. I think even a Lizal, strength and Lizal bow, when they're together like that, so you can hit them both. Boom, 3 shock arrows and they're done. And sometimes you get those, you get some fish like that with them. And then so you can see there's a electric wizrobe right there. Don't let him see you. Again, unless you just want to fight him. But there's also a enemy camp nearby. In my mind, that's the clean end of the route. So I would stop there.